Oh, that's not even muted. Oh, oh, oh my gosh. Just kidding. I knew it was not muted. Welcome in, everybody. How's it going? My name is Josh. This is the Game George channel, and we are going to do some stuff. We're gonna mute that for now. Hold on. I need to get set up. Because, yeah, there's a lot going on. All right, so you guys want to tour maps in GE or in the game? Let's do a GE first, because I don't think most of them are set up for the game. All right, so let's do that. We're gonna close that for now. But welcome in, everybody. How's it going? Thanks for being here. Let's start with the map that I've actually shared a little bit if you're in my Discord. So if you're in my Discord, feel free to jump in the Discord. I will be sharing all my progress in the Discord, where it is, if I'm streaming, I'm only going to be sharing like active stuff, what I'm working on during the stream. But, nope, wrong button. But I haven't redone the screen yet. The screen is still like, it's not like, not happy. You know what I'm saying? This screen just like looks like the old thing. Add existing. No. That one. Okay. That's not right. That goes there. And like the screen, the little window is really small where my face is. So it sort of doesn't work. This is the chatting window. And I haven't really figured out how to use it right. So this is part of the original like package that I had for like stuff or what's it called? My stream package that I got a while back. And that's good enough for me. Anyways, welcome in, everybody. Thanks for being here. I see McGarrett, Ultimate Sim Gamer, Sydney Morse. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. We're going to jump into GE, and this is where things get a little interesting. I don't know if you want to call it interesting. Because map development's not fun. It's, you're gonna have to like mentally like take control of your brains. I don't even know what that means. You have to take control of your brains. All right, so this is called Vasco Hills, and I can show this one in game. We can show it in game in a minute. But this is how I commute to work. I'm going to work tomorrow. I'm going to go to the office. And so when I go to the office, I will come over here. I won't be flying, obviously. But my house is like over there somewhere. And I come in down this road. Right? And this is the road that I drive down to go to and from work. Now, it obviously doesn't look like this. But I'm going to make it look like it should. And that takes a bit of work, but we'll figure it out. And then I drive down this road, and this is a really fast road. So I'm not even running in the game, but the game is letting me go really fast. This road, like the speed limit on this road is 65. It's a 2-lane road. And one of the things about this road, the G hiccuped because I'm doing a flyby. One of the things about this road is they have these really cool, I'll try to take a picture of it tomorrow because I'm leaving really early and I think it's going to be a nice day. They has these really cool like lane markers in the middle of the road where you have like a white line and then a double yellow line and then a white line. So you kind of have a breakdown lane, but not really. It's like a half breakdown lane, so just in case. But the double yellow line in the middle, so you're not allowed to pass, is it not only has 2 yellow lines, but it has a double set of like those little reflector thingamajiggers, and it has reflector poles, like those yellow orange poles of the reflector thing on the top that if you see cars hit them and they just like they fall down, they pop back up. right? Down the middle of this road, right? And so this isn't a farming map. I mean, it is, but it isn't. And then I drive up here, and then right here is where the highlight of the map is, right? No, not right here. There's a barn right here. Wait, where's the barn? Yeah. There's like a dilapidated, like old broken down barn. And Giants has an asset for this, so I'm just going to use the Giants asset. And then there's another barn that's right here. And this barn that's right here is on the cover of the map. And I'll show you the cover. The cover is this. So this barn is right there on the side of the road. This is a picture taken from the road. And so there's a little, like you see the little like barbed wire fence in between us and the barn. And then it's like open pasture land past it. And there's sometimes cows there, not very often. Sometimes there's cows there. But this is like this old dilapidated barn. This picture is taken like 10 years ago, but it still looks the same. It may be a little faded, but it still looks the same. It's a landmark, right? It's the landmark of this area. I drive past this barn every single time, right? And that's where the barn is. And then the two buildings on this entire drive. There's one building right here, or there's like a double building that's like a building and then another building behind it right here. And I'm probably going to replicate that, but I'm actually going to use this spot as the dealer location. So there's going to be one row of cars spawning here, one row spawning here. And then all of this land, if you look, see the land is contoured. There's a bunch of like places like right here, like you can kind of see it. You see if I zoom out far enough, do you see the road? There's a dirt road right here behind the building, but Maps4FS saw it but didn't see it, but it gives you the contours of the land, which is awesome. So if you're in the map for editing, I'll just turn on foliage, right? I'll turn off foliage so I can see the ground. And then I've been going in very slowly. It takes a long time. I don't remember which one I'm using. I think it's this one. And I'm setting my brush to 2.9 and I'm painting where the dirt roads are. And then once I have it painted, I'll come back and remove the grass because there's grass everywhere. So I've been going through and slowly painting where the actual roads are. And they're a little bit hard to see sometimes, but you can kind of get the drift of where this one's going. So in the program that I exported the land from didn't see those roads. So everything is covered in grass, right? I just right-clicked, that's okay. So as you can see over here, I've already been doing some of that. Like see over here, I've already started like getting all these little dirt roads around the mountains and stuff like that. Like there's a ton of dirt roads. And even over here, there's like these, you can see where the land allows for these dirt roads. But in many cases, they don't exist if you're looking at it in this mode, because this is the mode where everything is grass. But there's a lot of these kind of really cool, snaky, twisty, turny river beds, which are actually there. They almost never have water in them, but I'm going to put water in them in the map just because it's more fun that way. And then this is the road I drive up. This is the big hill. On this hill, there's actually 3 lanes. And when I drive up the hill, this is real. Yes, McGarrick, this is actually the actual topographic 1-to-1. This is real. I drive through this every time I go to work. This section here is cool because it's 1 lane going down the hill and 2 lanes going up the hill. So anytime on this road there's uphill sections, almost always in the uphill sections, there are 2 lanes. And on the downhill sections, there are 1 lane. So in case there's trucks, you can pass the trucks, right? But everyone, like this road speed limit is 60, but everyone drives 80. It's crazy. It's California, whatever. So this road, and I keep driving by here, and this is literally what it looks like. So I'm going to zoom out So we're not looking at it. This is the actual area. And this is totally, so it's actually, this is like, you know how like people call a no man's land a wilderness map? Right? By the way, no neck, I have another map we're going to show a little bit later from southeastern Pennsylvania, but from Pennsylvania. So I already have one ready to go. But this is what it looks like. And so this is not really a farming map, but it is a farming map because down here on this side of the map, you can kind of see it. See these like plots of land? You can almost see the fence lines. There's 4 plots here. It's hard to see. You see the fence line right here? One there, one here, one here. Fence lines. And then this area actually has fields. If you look at like the satellite map, you can see the fence lines. See this is a fence line. You can actually, there actually is fields. There's houses. There's things. There's an airport. Not on the map. It's right here is actually the edge of the airport. So this big open flat area down here actually would be really great. Look at this. This is a 4X map. But this big open area down here would be awesome for some fields. Like you can make a freaking huge field down here, but it's going to be a wilderness map. So there won't actually be very many fields. I believe Giants requires 1. So I'm going to put 1 field in. The rest of it's going to be grass for the most part. And we'll maybe put some trees in here, even though there aren't actually trees here in real life. This is almost all just grassland. But I mean, look at this. There's some really awesome areas. And then a lot of these, like the hilltops here have windmills. You can kind of see where the windmill goes. It goes right here. And this is the place to drive up to the windmill. So there's going to be some windmills on the top of these mountains. So when you buy the land, you'll get a windmill. And I drive up this road. So I've never seen past this ridge line because you can't see past it. Because when you're at road height, you're here, right? This is what you see. I have no idea what's back there without looking at satellite maps. And so if you look back here, there's all kinds of like it seems like every hilltop has these like little like things for, I don't know what. You could do something with those. You could flatten off a hill. There's this big flat valley in here, right along a river. Some awesome farmland in here. I can imagine someone starting in here and building out a really awesome farm. Or like putting their house up on top of a hill, like on one of these spots up here and looking over. Like, look at the sightlines right there, right? Just looking out over this beautiful valley, the river running through it. Oh, it's gonna be so cool. And we might put some forested areas on here, so there will be some forestry. But it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be big. This area right here, this flat area right here is an actual farm. I didn't know it was there until I looked at the map. And it has like, I think it's a cow farm. And I think they're like, yeah, so you can see the parts where I've edited it. Like these are the rows that Map4FS put in. And this is Map4FS trying to put the river in. But they didn't do a very good job following the river. They just kind of put it in the general vicinity. And so I've been fixing the river place. And so, yeah, this is a 4X map, but this is real. This is like, I literally am going to drive down this road tomorrow. The game put 2 fields in here, but there's not, I don't know why aren't really fields. This is a mine. Literally in real life, there's a mine. I kid you not. It's like a concrete and limestone mine or something like that. Like where they're getting out certain types of sand that are really good for concrete and lime. There's a limestone company here. This is an actual mine. And then down here, there's even a little hidden neighborhood. There's so much I can do with this map. And like this area down here, big, huge, wide open plains. You can do whatever you want with them. Yeah, this is the one I'm most excited about because it's funny because I'm taking something that's actually a nature preserve and turning it into like it's a wilderness preserve, and I'm going to turn the wilderness preserve into a farming map, and hypothetically let people make farms in the land that is blocked from farming. They allow cattle and stuff like that, but you can't do farming. But I think it's gonna be a cool, like, really wide open, lots of grass, no man's land type map. I'll put some decorations in there, but everything's gonna be automated. But let's look at it. This is one of the two maps that I have that is actually ready to look at. I think I deleted my last save. So let's come in here. No, this one. And look at this. I even have a start screen for it and everything. Continue. Start. This one I wanted to get in the map so I can drive up and down the road. Even though I'm going to drive up and down the road tomorrow when I go to work. Just to get a feel for it, you know what I'm saying? I still don't know why I spawned here in the middle of nowhere. I haven't fixed that yet. But here's the road. I start you off with a car. Here's the dealership. So this is going to be the dealership. And then this is the area in front of the dealership on the grass that the vehicles spawn. It's not flat. I'm not going to flatten anything unless I'm putting a building down. That's it. Hey, Artemis. How's it going? As you can see, if I did it right. Come on. Yep, vehicle shop works. I believe that... Yep. Doors work. This is the actual color of the buildings that are there, is that green color. And if you come in here, it's a maintenance trigger, right? And I believe the maintenance trigger zone is inside here. I'll put some warning stripes so people know. Exactly, Nonek. And so this is how I go to work. This is the highway. It's about how fast we drive. Can you I mean, this is literally how fast we'll drive. 100 kilometers an hour is like 70 miles an hour, right? Something like that. Yeah, I come up here. I go past the house, the barn that has the American flag on it. I see all these roads, but everything's fenced off. There's going to be a lot of, like, barbed wire fences that you can, like, delete and stuff. There's one farmhouse. It's going to be right there. And there's going to be an open pasture. So your starting farm is the one up here. There's going to be an open pasture right here with some cows. And that's it. Because that's all that's there in real life. No silos, no barn, no nothing. This is his driveway, which is gravel in real life. I actually made it look nice. And then I put Omatana's cool house in here, which I believe you can just go into. Look at the sight lines from where this guy lives, where you live, right? How awesome is this? And I'm going to set this road up, and that there's going to be traffic on the road, totally. And I'm going to make the traffic go 80. just because that's the way it really is. But this guy, in real life, he sits up here in this farmhouse, and he has, like, there's a, right down here in the middle of the thing, there's like a huge pile of straw. I'll take some pictures of it. There's a huge pile of straw that's fenced. Like, he has, like, one of those piles of straw, like straw bales, like we see in the game, with a tarp over it. But there's a fence around it, and he just takes one of the bales off the pile and dumps it on the ground inside the fence, and the cows poke their heads through the fence and eat the straw. But they don't get the straw that's too far behind the fence. It's kind of weird, but that's how he does it. And then over there is obviously the really cool barn, and yeah. And so the ground, I'm not touching the ground at all. I'm not going to fix any of the ground deformation or bumpiness. I might smooth it out in a few places, but that's about it. for the most part, I'm going to leave it true to life because that's what this is. This is a true to life wilderness preserve. The one place where I did edit is right here. There's a bridge right here, but I couldn't find a bridge that was the right size, so I'm just taking the bridge out, and I will try to smooth that area of the road. This is the point in the road where it's 2 lanes, but I'm going to leave it 1 lane, so I actually made it less wide. But like you can see on like the satellite image down there, like I'm down here on the satellite image on this crazy road, which is cool. And then this doesn't exist. I added this cut in right here to get into the dirt roads of the map, which are down here, because that's how you get into the rest of the map. And that's it. And then everything else here is just I'm making this. This is all, the dirt roads are legit. They're actually real. They exist in real life. So do the water areas. But this is the way it's going to look. Now I'm going to make these roads look better. They're just really basic dirt right now. But I mean, look at this. Like, I've never been back here, so this is the first time I actually get to go back here and see what's back here. Right? There's going to be a lot more dirt roads and stuff. I'm still painting them in. But, like... Whoa. Nailed it. This will be really fun to, like... like make your own. However you want to make your own, make it your own. And I'm thinking of doing the regular version, the real version, which is going to be, I'll probably have 2 or 3 versions of the map. Like as you see right here, there's a dirt road that I still have to paint in right here. You can see it. You kind of see it as like the ground, how the ground forms. So cool. But yeah, this is going to be a really big map. I'll have multiple versions. One version of which is going to be just like this, mostly grass with just a few trees here and there. And then the next version will be a forestry version where I'm going to procedurally generate some forestry areas. It'll still be mostly open grassland, but I will include some forestry areas in places to me that make sense for forestry. It'll be a really challenging forestry map because, I mean, lots and lots of hills. But if you imagine like a hill like this big hill here, covered in trees, you could spend months for doing that forestry there. And you can see where I kind of stopped doing like the painting here, where I'm like getting the water, the river looking right. Like that's how it got it from Maps4FS. And then this is how I've edited it. So I'm actually making the grass and the river contour, follow the actual river contours, and then I'll have water in these ditches somehow. I'm not sure how. But yeah, anyways, that's Vasco. The next one... the next one, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I got a couple here. Let's close this. No, I didn't make any changes. Don't need that. The next one, which I've started looking at. Let's look at this one. This one's funny. This one I think I can go into. Did I change the name of it yet? I don't know if I did. Let's make sure. No. Okay, so it's a funny story with this one. This map, I can't help not fixing stuff. I just have to. Notice I said Harvard, Mass. So Harvard is where I was born. I kind of want to make a map of that area, so I started using Map4FS to export a map for Harvard. You know, simple enough. And this is the map that I got, which is not Harvard. And I was like, and then I tried to like go back to the location and be like, This is not look what I thought it was supposed to look like. Like once I got it in the game, I actually did some work in GE, and then I got it in the game, and then I was like, "What the hell? What's going on? I don't understand this at all." I couldn't figure it out. I was like, "Why does this look completely wrong? I don't get it." And then I realized that the coordinates were wrong. But the craziest thing is, I basically got a random location. I don't know where. I actually do know. It's in Hennigal, Alabama. I don't know where that is. But the crazy thing is it looks pretty cool. So let's go to Hennigal. This one, continue. This is the default screen they show. This is the default start screen that Map4FS gives you. Which, by the way, I would love playing this map. Or this map, for that matter. I almost want to make that map. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish someone would tell me where that map is. Because this map right here on the right, and this map on the left, for that matter, those look like freaking awesome maps to play. Don't they? I would love playing either of those maps. This one has a really cool river running through it. Lots of like cool shaped fields. This one has got like kind of a good slope to it. Nice little hamlet of houses and barns and stuff like that. Totally, but I would play that. All right, so this, we don't have the map set up, so I'm gonna have to do flight mode for this one. This one doesn't have an actual store yet. And I believe this is the original version. I haven't re-exported it, which is why we're in fields of colored flowers. This is a setting on Map4FS. So when Map4FS generates, it'll randomly generate areas of flowers for whatever. I don't know why. Just to give your map some texture, I guess. But we have this map here, and this is the map. This is what got generated. If I remember, this is north to south. So we are looking from, yeah, were you looking north? Yeah, we're looking north. So this is the south side of the map, which is kind of big and open, but relatively flat. Not super flat, but relatively flat. All of these little areas, these little things are ponds. We got some roads. We got a road that goes off the map. We got a road that goes across here, goes down there. This is the actual area around it. This is the outer lands, which I did set up on this map because I'm learning how to do that. But that's actually what's there. As you can tell, even the outer stuff is contoured. And then it's got this awesome, like, really big forest in the middle that is a procedurally generated forest and yada, yada, yada. But it's a really cool, like, I would play this map. Right? I would totally play this map. And if you get closer, you can kind of see Patton, Pennsylvania. Oh, that sounds like a good name too. Yeah, DM me that on Discord or I'll totally forget. But yeah, so you can see these ponds. There's a couple ponds here that look nice. Will look awesome with some water. Some random trees here and there. There's a bunch of fields here. There's right here is a long, like 2 or 3 long buildings that have something in them. There's some kind of like a dairy building or like a maybe they do chickens. So maybe those like really long chicken buildings that are out there. I think there's one for FS25. Those would be cool here. Long and slender buildings. Nice little pond right here. And then this awesome forest in the middle. Obviously, I'll redo the forest so it's a little bit more forestry friendly. But there's an awesome forest here. There's an awesome forest here. There's a road that runs along the outside here. I don't know. Like, this is, for a map that got randomly generated, like a location that I did not plan on at all, this would actually make a really fun map. And so I'm actually thinking of going through with it and making this into a map just as like, and doing, because this is not one of the ones that like I care about. This is just forestry, farming, Not much else. There's only like 5 or 6 homes on the entire map. Relatively simple. The roads, I can leave them as dirt roads, or I can put actual roads in if I want. I'll procedurally generate the forest, which is gigantic. It'll probably crash my computer when I do it, but whatever. And make it a really awesome forestry map, and then also a really awesome farming map kind of around the forest. I don't know. This is such a weird one because it was totally random. Like, I did not intend to generate this map. I intended to generate Harvard, Massachusetts, which doesn't really have farming, but it's a cute little East Coast town. One of the things that I think is missing from Farm Sim are East Coast, but further north. There's a bunch of stuff in Pennsylvania and south, but I haven't really seen anyone other than the Middleburg map do very much in the northern range. So New York, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, maybe even Maine. But I mean, of course, a lot of that gets into forestry and lots of really hilly terrain. But I like the hilly terrain, so that's where I'm going to go with that one. So this is the, what was this called? I don't even remember the name of it. Yeah, the camo pattern foliage. This is Hennigal, Alabama. So that's the actual name of it. Whatever. I don't even know, but I might put it out there anyways because it looks like a fun map. And I might use it as like my first map as a way to learn some of the techniques that I will perfect in this map and then use for other maps. So I don't necessarily have a lot of emotional attachment to this map because it was an accident, but it's a really cool accident, honestly. And then the last one that is actually playable, shoot, I don't remember if it's playable. It might not be playable because I regenerated this map like 4 or 5 times. Hey, Farm Garage. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Matt. I saw your DM. Shoot, it's not. I have to rename it. Hold on. Hold on. We have to actually. So when Map4FS generates something, it just says generated by Map4FS. It doesn't even tell you what it is. So this one is. I don't even know about this one at all. This one is probably the one I care about the most, but I haven't looked at it yet. I just generated it. This one, I'm going to have to copy and paste that. AOGASHIMA. We'll look at that one too. That one, I haven't seen that one at all, but maybe we'll look at that one in the game and see what they got generated. This is one I care about. One of these top 2 I care about the most, and probably this one. This one is actually in my hometown where I grew up. That one is fine. I was looking at maybe doing a map for what's his name? Jack Sarge? Because he's from Tasmania. No one ever does Tasmania maps. And then this one I don't think is ready. This is. So what I'm doing now, just so you guys know what I'm doing, is I'm taking the 2 things that make a thing. Hey, Jack's here. How did you know? The second that I said your name, you just magically popped in. You've probably been watching the whole time, haven't you? So North Clarendon, Vermont is, my uncle lives there, and he had a farm land, but he didn't actually farm on the land, but he was surrounded by farms. And I thought it'd be a cool area to make a map for. So I've been looking around for a good location in that general area. I found a good one. This is going to be one of the ones that I think is going to be really good. This one, the Tasmania map, I'm not super jazzed on the location yet, so I'm not going to show that one yet. And then this one is one that we'll do in GE. So let's do that. That should give me a couple things to show off in the game, and then one or two to show off in GE. But Jackson helped me one with the Jack Sarge map, or with the, we're gonna call it the Jack Sarge map. And if I can, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna try to pay for buy an asset for an Australian, one or more assets for Australian gum trees. One of the reasons that people don't do maps for Australia is there's no gum trees in the map in the game, and gum trees are prevalent in that area, in that side of the world. So it would make sense to have gum trees if you're going to do a Taz or Australian map. Let's look at North Clarendon. Continue. Whatever. Yeah, those do look like AI generated farms, don't they? Hey, Jake, how you doing? Jake, you probably want to see the PA one, right? Yeah. If you are getting into map development, I will definitely I would love to help if you want to look at, and I'll show you the Cochranville one today. I have the land generated. I just haven't done anything with it yet. That one's going to take a lot of work because maybe not. It's going to take a good amount of work. Lots and lots of fields. And in all honesty, when you're map making, fields are easy. Like once you just define how the field look, that's easy. That's the easiest part of the job. The hard part is houses and decoration and towns and deciding where, like, oh, I need a BGA. Where the frick am I going to put a BGA? There's no BGA here in real life. We don't have biogas plants in the States in part of farming maps, but it's part of the game. So you kind of have to adapt certain things to make it fit the gameplay, especially when you're using a real life location. Of course, I have a couple ideas for non-real life locations. I actually have, I was talking to my, I want to do a couple anime maps. Some bank barns. Yeah, totally. Bank barns would be important. I want to get a modder. I want to get somebody to make mushroom barns. Why is this thing paused? It's like stuck. I know why it's stuck. Hold on. J Turk, Matt, welcome in. Thank you for reading me. So one of the things, if you're generating maps from the Map4FS, which is, you know, what we're doing here, if you, before you load them in the game, the map gets generated like this, and you notice that this map only has a shapes file. So for it to actually work in the game, you have to actually open it in GE once, and then you can save, and then you'll be able to actually get it into the game. Without it actually getting into GE once, it won't open. So here's how a generated map looks the first time, right? And it always has this stupid purple thing. I don't know what this purple thing is. Maybe Matt knows. But if you're like, oh no, what did I do wrong? You didn't do anything wrong. It happens on every single generated map. I don't know. It's something to do with something. I don't care. All you do is like turn on terrain sculpt mode, turn it on and off. And so this is the map for North Clarendon, which is predominantly a farming map with some forestry on the hills. Big flat area, river basin kind of area surrounded by some really cool twisty, windy rivers. And then town area over here. One thing this town area has, which I'm looking forward to, is this plot right here, kind of in this space, is a shared, we talked about this last stream, which is a shared farming solar farm, but it's also, they do grassland work underneath it. So that's there. So what I do when I'm coming into these maps is before I save, I'm going to come in here to map, field toolkit, update all fields. So I get the actual field sizes that was generated. These are pretty big fields, 6 hectares, 17 hectares. Field 6 is this part, but it also includes this part, but I have to fix it because that won't work in the game. And then field 5, if you actually look at the polygon points for field 5. Actually, Matt, do you know how to show the polygon points in GE? I actually don't know how to do that yet. There's probably some script to do it, but this field doesn't include the rivers. It includes all of the land, and it doesn't cut out the rivers. So this will actually be multiple fields, but I'll set them up so they're all the same crop, but you'll have multiple fields. But yeah, so we're gonna come in here and do that. I'm gonna hit save. That's all I'm gonna do. Actually, no, we'll do this also. Field create tool and then select debug at the bottom. Thank you. It's saving, sorry. Does anyone know the hotkey for streamer mode? While I'm waiting for that, I will turn on streamer mode so you stop seeing all of my notifications. Since I'm staring at my screen. Okay, scripts, shared scripts, map, farmland fields, field toolkits, toggle debug rendering. Oh, perfect. Thank you. So yeah, you can see where the fields are here. And you can also see that the fields are not respecting the waterways that are they're in the fields. And so it's going to try to set the water as farmland. And I don't want that. So even though like this field will probably be that size, this field will be that size. These are some pretty freaking huge fields. This field 5 and field 7 and field 6, these 3 have to be redone. Which I don't know how to do, so I'll have to figure that out. But anyways, let's turn off toggle debug rendering because that destroys my computer. Let's put the vehicle shop where I'm planning on putting the vehicle shop. And I'll show you how to do that if I don't know. So come over here to vehicle shop in your file tree. You care about the fields. Vehicle shop trigger, hit Control B, put it wherever you want. If you look, vehicle shop is this little icon thing here, blah, 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 just floating it. And the yellow box is the trigger. So you have to walk into that trigger. And then the store spawn place start. Come here, Control B, hit it right there. Vehicles will spawn facing the opposite direction of the blue arrow. So if you want them to facing outwards, which is what I want, you'd have to turn the arrow around. Right? They're going to face that way. I don't know why that's stupid, but I guess that's just the way the game works. And then we'll do that. And then we'll do this. We'll come over here. Come this. Want to make them parallel. Control C. Control V. Move it back. And this way we'll be able to buy a car. Save. This one needs a bridge. I don't have a bridge, so we're going to have to jump it. All right, so that's what this map looks like. Let's look at what it looks like in the game, because that's way more fun. Yeah, the polygon stuff's new. While we're here, let's go into the other one and do this. We'll open up Cochranville. This will be my first time seeing it. one of the requirements for Cochranville is I have family who live in Cochranville. It's one of the reasons I'm doing that town. And my sister's farm will be part of the map. And it will be relatively accurate to her farm. I'm probably going to even paint the house the same color. So this is Cochranville, which doesn't have any trees. I don't think when I originally generated it, I told it to add trees. There's a lot of trees on this area. But if you look at general, this is the Cochranville area. I'm trying to get my bearings here. I think it's like this. I think this is north-south. I think. Pretty sure. My sister lives on this road right here. Right, her house is right here. But you can see the river running through the area, and this is the Cochranville map. So we don't know where anything is or where stuff needs to be. So I'm not going to even bother setting the vehicle shops. I'm just going to save and exit out. Because this one's going to need to be regenerated, so I'm not going to put any effort into working on it. Now that I know how to do the trees the way I want them, or get some more of the detail like this. There's tons of farmland here, and it didn't actually generate any of the farmland because I didn't know how to do that before. Now I do. So save, close. It'll close once it's done saving. Hopefully. Sorry for the delay. It takes a while to save 4X maps the first time. After, it only takes like 20, 30 seconds. But the very first time, it has to generate all of the data files. And then it does diffs and only generates the ones that it needs. And if you don't make changes to all the data files every single time, it doesn't need them. But the first time, it has to generate everything. So there we go. And was there anything else? No, we're going to browse this one in GE. All right, so the last two we're going to look at in the game are going to be Clarendon and Cochranville. And so a lot of these, for me, the way I'm approaching it, I'm not planning on building these maps or releasing these maps anytime soon, just so you guys know. Like, end of the year time soon is what I'm talking about. Like, the first one, I'll probably get done end of the year. I still have a bunch of mods that I'm in the middle of, like, trying to convert, and I want to get those at least submitted before I really spend a lot of time on the map editing. But the honest answer is that converting the mods that I've already written is not super fun. It's boring, and Giants is really, really, really pissing me off lately. So I don't actually want to submit stuff. One of my mods is okay, tree transport mission, whatever, I don't care. One of my mods is still sitting and testing, and I submitted it on December 2nd. 4th. It's December 4th. It's still in testing. It's still pending. Like, what the heck? Let's buy a truck. I like this truck. I don't like the color they give it to you, but I like the truck. See if I got the no, see, it's still facing the wrong direction. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there. I'm doing something wrong, but That's where the store is going to be. See the store trigger? And so this is the area that we're looking at in North Clarendon. This side of the trees is going to be all grassland, so these are going to be open fields of grass for the most part. There's going to be some forestry areas, and this is just what the game generated. If from a forestry perspective, very wildly varied trees. Since this is Vermont, there's going to be a significant number of spruce trees. So this is going to be forestry. All of these tree areas are going to be forestry focused. So I'm definitely going to be including the trees from Silver Run and regenerating the trees that are on the map. So the ones that are there are just kind of for show. And just showing where the forest areas are. But this is all legit terrain, which is kind of scary for some of it. There's some places right here. All of these little open areas are for shops or buildings, and obviously I'll have to create driveways to get to said shops or buildings, whether they are houses or tailor shops. Plenty of like nice little spots, right? Nice little spot for a house, nice and flat. Those are all generated by the script that generates it. And then you get onto dirt roads, which is how it is actually in their real life, as far as I know. Right here to the right is going to be where that solar grassland farm area will be. I can't wait to do that one. Dust Bunny, welcome in. Tobo, welcome in. Thanks for being here, guys. Thank you for coming in. And this one actually has fields, which is the cool part. I love actually seeing fields when I'm like building a map. Like I haven't done anything. I literally generated this map, opened it in GE, hit save, move the vehicle shop, and hit go. And so they're not right, but it's really good to be able to get into a map, be able to drive around, feel how it is. Like the fog is much too tall. You can set the fog level. So I would set the fog level much lower. This is really annoying. But to see actual crops in the fields, right? And then this is another place where there's a bridge that I'm going to either have to build or use a base game asset, but there's another bridge there. It would be fun, I think, since we're doing East Coast, to do a covered bridge somewhere. That would be pretty cool. The main farm is going to be over here. Show you where. This field right here is right next to the main farm, but the main farm is basically from this, like this area right here is the main farm, and there's some farmyards and buildings and sheds and stuff like that. That's where the main farm will be, with a couple fields around, and then forestry land. There's a bunch of forestry area. This is I forget what setting I used on this one, but I'm getting a good solid 30, 40 FPS with this. Yeah, 30. So there's a few too many trees here. I'm still trying to get the tree settings down, but as you can see, like this is a super, like even for farm sim, this is a dense forest, right? Very dense. I like dense forest, don't get me wrong, but this one's pretty dang crazy. Oh, thanks for the score on the jump, Jake. That's perfect. But there will be some grassland here, and there will be some, you know, field land. I'll probably put a couple fields on this side of the road too. Maybe like in this little inlet here, this little corner, maybe I'll put like the sawmill right here. I just heard a boat. Cool open area here. That'll be great for a nice big field. So I'll put in more fields than are actually there. And I'll put the fields in to be as close to legitimate to where they are in real life. But I like the layout of this one. I like the layout of the land. I like how the roads are like higher up than the fields, but the fields kind of go down from the roads, and they're not necessarily smooth. I'll smooth them out so they're a little bit more game ready, I guess you could say. And then And then we have the river. And one thing I did with the river, which will make it easier to build, is I had the game drop the water level of the river. I had the generation thing drop the water level of the river by like a half of a meter. So there, it creates this kind of steeper slope on the sides. But it means that when I generate the water, I can run the water level along the bottom of the river, and I can create a nice, perfectly flat plane for the water. Like this is all river, right? I'll be able to create a nice, perfectly flat plane for the water, which will make, when I generate the rivers, make it much easier. But this one is the one that's probably, from a generation standpoint, like from creating something from nothing, this one is probably the closest. Like, I could probably put, let's put it this way, I could probably put the least amount of effort on this map and just ship it. You know what I mean? Like, do the outside lands, do the satellite view, fix the fields, add the water to the water areas. I could probably leave the forests the way they are and just paint down and do the painting for like the undergrowth, but leave the forests the way they are. Bruce wouldn't be happy, but you know, not everything has to be for forestry. And oh, come on, get through. Oh, nope, nope. There's a few trees that get put in that are just not friendly for. And this one has a railroad. So this thing running down the middle is a train tracks. So it'll be cool to actually do a train and have a train sell point and have a train buy station and whatnot. I've never done that before. So I'm looking forward to learning that. That one will be pretty cool. But yeah, this is North Clarendon. And this is going to be one of my earlier maps that I do. And this is going to be a 2x map. It's a regular 1x map, sorry. And it'll be for all platforms. So I will be doing a few 4x maps that will obviously not be for all platforms unless Giants magically gets rid of that restriction. And I'll be doing a couple 4x maps, which are my preference. I do like the bigger maps, but I also know that they take a lot longer to build. So Cochranville is a 4x. Vasco, which is the one by me right now, is a 4x. But that one's going to be relatively easy because there's no fields. So building a wilderness map with no fields is a little bit easier to build than building something with a lot of fields and field entrances, and you got to deal with all that kind of stuff. So more sell points are needed, yada yada. The last one we'll look at Cochranville. I haven't actually looked at this yet, so we'll see. Continue. Start. Speaking of map development, I haven't put the thing in there, and I don't know if Dust Bunny or Towboat, if you can put a link to SMB's modding's itch into the chat. That would be super handy and super helpful. The first map that I worked on for FS25 was SMB Modding's Harrison Farms map. I went in, I did a map tour of it, and then I wanted to prove to myself that I could fix it, or fix the problems that I found in the map. That's not fun. Now this is going to be pretty empty. Right now we're just looking at land, okay? So we're just looking at contours of land. There's a road we're coming right through here, obviously. Some kind of rolling hillside lands. Rolling hills are nice. The river is nice. I like the river running through everything. It's pretty cool. These nice big flat open lands. Great meadows areas, I guess. I don't know how many fields are going to be here, so the fields I'd have to actually make manually because none of them are getting generated. These are going to be places where there's houses and stuff. There's house something or other here right by the river. I like it. It's not too steep. Like if we zoom up, this is a 4x map too. I could do a Cochranville 1x, and I might do a Cochranville 1x. But I think what if I do the Cochranville 1x, I'm gonna build the 4x first, and then I'm gonna use some wizardry to turn the 4x into a 1x for all platforms. All right. And look at this little creek bed that I'm gonna have to manually trace. God, that's gonna take forever. I'm just thinking how hard that's gonna be to trace that and put water in it. I think so. I think it's Route 41. We can look actually. Where's the search? So this is Cochranville. And I believe I was south side of the map. So I think it's down like this area that I exported. Where I want this. No, I want the terrain. So it's centered around where my sister lives, but I don't remember the name of her street right now. Not off the top of my head. I know where it is visually. Let's see if I can find it. Fags Manor Road. Such weird road names. But yeah, like this is the area of Cochranville, and so you can really get a feel for it if you look at this. I almost feel like I might have done this area up here, but if you look at all the striped fields, like just anything here it's like Farm Sim Gold. It doesn't matter which area you pick, right? These fields definitely remind me of like Westbridge or Westbridge? No, Westby with the striped fields, right? But like these striped corn and something else fields, or like this one right here where this guy, he's got some really weird skills for turning around when he's driving. Cochranville. Gosh, why can't I remember the name of her street? I don't know the area well enough. I've only been there a couple times. They're right off of this street, which is 10 and 41. They're right off of 10, I believe. Come on. I really want to find it. But anyways, when I was exporting in this center area here. And I was trying not to include 1. And I was trying not to include 10. So I included somewhere in this area here. And as you can see, like this, one of these rivers is the corner of the map. So yeah, that's the idea. That's where Cochranville is. So if we go back to the game, that's what we're looking at. Right, we're looking at, you know, rolling hills. Thank you. I took a lot of pictures of around her area and things that I wanted to reproduce. and make sure that I caught as part of the map. But thank you, Jake. I will have you go through it. But anyways, that's Cockerville. And so this is, I still have to regenerate this one a couple times to get it exactly what I want. But that's the idea. And then the next one is one that I don't think anyone's ever going to do this map, but I'm going to do it. I've always wanted to do an island map. And this map fits in a 4X. So this island, this is an island, and it's here off the coast of Japan, right? Nowhere near anything. It's an island, middle of nowhere, right? It's 4 km by 4 km. But look at this. Yeah. I'm totally making this into a map. I mean, just look. How cool is this? I mean, obviously a forestry heavy map, but you've got you got the rice paddies, and you've got lots of greenhouses, and you've got like this ring of a crater, like a crater ring, and a town inside of the crater ring. And the only way to get inside and out, yeah, it looks like the inside of a volcano, is this pass right here, which leads to the outside. So you see this? This is like the port. This is where you come in. Like, there's a dock, right? Yada, yada. And then there's a bunch of, like, this is the dock area. And then there's this, like, twisty, windy road that goes up and around and over if you need to. But there's also a tunnel right here. And the tunnel goes inside this volcanic island. But it's dense, forested area with some just really cool features. And if I simplify it and just make a forestry map, but like have your vehicle dealer over here by the port, you have to get like your stuff delivered in, and then all of this farmyard in here. And so I generated a map for this. I generated the map for this. I haven't actually looked at it yet, so we're gonna look at it together. I don't think it's gonna put in trees. It might have. I hope it put in trees, but I don't know if it will. I don't know what. Refresh. Come on, come on, come on. Hurry up, G. Exactly. But it's real. Oh, it's not loading. I'm gonna have to regenerate it. The terrain's not loading. It should have actual... Oh, wait. No, we're under the ground. We're under the terrain for some reason. It rendered trees. Yes. Oh, so cool. There you go. How cool is this? I get to use like the whole town area up here is up here. You've got this whole forestry area on the inside of the crater. You've got the crater itself, so you've got these really steep, this is all accurate DEM accurate terrain. View camera scripts, shared map, farmland fields, field toolkit, toggle. Don't care about the fields right now. You've got all this DEM accurate farmland or like forestry area, but there are like towns and little things hidden in here and buildings and stuff like that. So the reason is exactly, it's not burning. It's barely even hot. It doesn't like the fact that there's so many trees. I don't even know how many trees that they got generated. I think it's dying because I keep flying. The land is too high or something. I don't know. It really doesn't like it. So let's hide the trees. It looks so awesome with the trees, but we have to hide them before something explodes. Click. It'll take a minute. All right. So now we can actually view it without the trees. But all of the brown is forest area, right? And you've got some places in here. And if we get down close, it also rendered in that stupid patchworky thing. Gosh, it's like so laggy. This is like the 6th map I've opened today, so it's part of the reason. But you can see the road that goes over the mountains. And oh my gosh. And then up here, I believe, is the town. I just gotta stick with it. Stick to it. Stick to it. It'll render. It'll render. Yeah, and up here is this like grassy open area. And this is the town area. And so even up here, you can see it. There are fields. These are fields. All fields. There's some stepped rice paddies and stuff like that, which I'm looking forward to. And there's plenty of little places. So the idea is that I don't think anyone, or I think that you're gonna get a 5% of the modding community is going to. I'm just gonna name it. I'm gonna name what it is, McGarrett. It's gonna be Agashima Island. Only like 5% of the modding community is gonna want to actually use the assets off of Hutan Pantai, right? All of that. No one else is going to want to use it. And so and you can see obviously that there was some weirdness with the terrain, but like this is all water. There isn't actual land here. It's an island. Yeah. Rusty, just ask. You're good. You're good. But that's Agashima Island. This is one that I want to make an Asian map. And when I thought of what I wanted to make for an Asian map, there's 3 Asian maps that I want to make. Yes. So all of this is being generated from real life terrain. Right? Yeah, every nook and crevice, yeah. But like you can see, it's a crater. It's totally a crater from a volcano or something. But people are living here. Anyways, that's Agashima. This is going to be... This one I think is kind of my end goal, right? I would definitely include the temple that gets built. But, I mean, if I can get something like this that's even half playable, that'd be so cool. So cool. So yeah, let me show them. I'm gonna answer Rusty's question real quick. So Maps4FS.xyz. You come here. We're gonna go we're gonna go to Google Maps. I'm gonna go to Pattern. This is how you do it. I'm going to show you how I generate those maps. So Patent PA. This is Patent PA. Oh, sweet. All right. So We're not going to do the town because that's boring. I don't care about the town. What? Why can't I move? I'm using the wrong keys. I want a good mixture. Oh, there we go. There we go. So that looks like a fun map right there. Booyah. So I'm going to click right here in the middle. I'm going to drop a pin. Right? And I'm going to come over here. I'm going to copy this right here down at the bottom. Copy. Come over to Map4FS. Paste. Hit enter. And it will center on that area. So Carroll Road, Link Road. This must be Carroll Road, Link Road. So it's getting... So it's basically... I have to zoom in a little bit. It's basically getting this area. Right? Perfect. Got some forestry area. Got this weird corn maze thing going on. Oh, epic. I just picked a spot and it's epic. Epic. Come in here. That's what we're getting. All right. And then you come down here. You pick USGS. There's a few things we're going to change. We're going to change satellite settings. We're going to say download images. We're going to say the i3D settings. We're going to add trees. We'll leave the forest density alone. We'll do that later. Forest density, texture settings. Come in here and we do fields padding. I almost always do a field padding, a little bit padding around the fields. Farmland margin 1. Add farm yards. This is just a number. Add grass. See, it adds grass to the map. Do not use small dense, or you can use small dense mix if you want. I use meadow. Don't use the random plants because that's what generates that patchwork of like yada yada. And then everything. Fill in empty farmyards. That's a good one to have. Fields padding, skip trains, use cache. Spline density. Turn the spline density up. Spline density of 2 is way too small. That's fine. Then you click generate. So this is the one that Matt Nonek sent me. This is Patton, Pennsylvania. And while this is running, I'm gonna let it run. It's gonna take a few minutes. And that's it. And it gives you a map. And we'll look at the map that we're generating right now. Just so everyone sees it. This isn't wizardry. The title of this video is really important here. This tool for realistic maps changes the game, because getting to what this tool gives you in literally minutes used to take map makers months, especially for DEM accurate maps. Because generating the terrain and generating the images and creating the current contours and painting the roads in and the rivers and all of that stuff, this is creating all of it for you. I didn't check the checkbox for the rivers, but you can actually have it generate the water planes too. And so this just it'll run. It'll do its stuff. What else do we want to look at? We wanted to look at something else while that's running. We'll just keep it in the background and keep an eye on it. Oh, and this is the other one that I think would be kind of fun. This is a weird one. So it's called Wampatuck State Park. I like the idea of farming or forestry or whatever in a place that was never designed for it. Like, why would you do that? Well, why not? So this map is a place called Wampatuck State Park, right? And this is literally in my hometown. My house that I grew up on is right over here. And this is an entire state park. It's a section of a state park, normal size map. Am I facing the right direction? Where's the road? I know this road too. The road is like... Hold on. I have to remember. Oh, no, here's the road. Okay, so this is north-south. And this is Wampatuck State Park. It's a relatively flat area. It's very, very not smooth. As you can see. It's not smooth. So it wouldn't be great for doing fields. You're going to have to smooth a lot. But there's rivers, there's lakes, and there's also a ton of like you can kind of see it, pathways. So this is a state park that originally was used in wartime as an army production base. And so all of these things here are bunkers that are still there to this day. They're closed, but they're these huge curved bunker buildings that are sealed. Some of them are sealed, some that are open. And as a teenager, I used to try to break into them and stuff like that. And then like you can see here, like this is where there was a bunker. You can kind of see it from the way the land is formed. Like this is the road in. This was a bunker. It used to be covered over. It's such a cool... But this is in my hometown. This is all forested. The whole place is forested. So to make a crazy forestry map, this seems fun. And if I take every one of these bunkers and put those like, what are they called? The Quonset huts, where all the bunkers are. Then there's a bunch of buildings on the map that you can start and use just farmland, farming land. I'll put a sawmill somewhere, like maybe right here is the visitor center. I once cut my leg open while mountain biking through the trails in this area over here, like somewhere in this area, general here. I cut my leg open, and I called the I hobbled my way to the visitor center, which is right here, and I called an ambulance. I got in trouble for that one. But this is legit. This is real. This is what it actually looks like. And I was thinking this might be fun for a forestry map. So imagine all of this greenery area, forest, with lots of little small trails and pathways. Most of those trails and pathways are paved, but they're only like half car length wide. Like car length wide it max. Like really, they're walking trails. But this is Wampatuck State Park. This is actually in my hometown, and which is not a farming town at all. It's a very, very rural town. But this, to me, it was like, is there anything in my hometown that I can do something where I know what it actually looks like in real life? Got some rivers running through it. Got a lake over here. Got some. I think this is also lake area, but I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway, so that's Wampatuck State Park. That's one of the other places that I'd really like to make. And just for no reason whatsoever other than making a fun map. I don't know if I'll ever make that one, but that one is one of the other ones that I've downloaded. Nope. Don't change. Map generated in 232 seconds. So 232 divided by 60 is like 4 minutes. So it took 4 minutes to generate this map. Let's download it. And not there. I'm going to come here to map dev. Generated. And this is Patton, PA. Now, when it generates it, it's cool because this file name, this right here, this part of the file name, are the coordinates that we pasted in. So when we generated it, these were the coordinates that we made the map from. They're right there in the file name, and then the date that you generated it. So I'm going to hit save. And then we're going to come in here, and open the map. We're going to extract all. Put this in our map folder. We're going to see what magic Matt gave us, or Mr. No Neck. Extract. This is a standard 2x map. So come here, map. Map.i3d. If we want to see it in game, we have to actually open it up and it save it once. Okay, get rid of the purple thing. Turn that on and off. Aw, it didn't give us the farmlands. The fields. Am I upside down? Yeah, I'm upside down. Right? Where's the picture? No, I was upset. Yep. All right, well, here's that map that Matt suggested. It doesn't really have the farmlands and fields, but you can kind of see where they are. Kind of see where the contours here. You can just kind of see where the fields are. And then you can see where this area right here is really bumpy. See how this stuff is smooth and this is bumpy? Obviously, forest smooth. See the like you're gonna see this like swipe area, like you almost see it in the ground. That looks cool. See it in the game. Save. Maybe I didn't tell it to generate trees, or maybe it couldn't generate the trees. I don't know. Whatever. Is there any flat areas? Yep. Here we go. Gameplay. Vehicle shop. Vehicle shop trigger. Right here on this corner. There. There. The NPC spots. Here we can. This is gonna be super weird. You know the NPCs, like where the Walter and his compatriots. They're all here. So you just go like this. Go hiss. Grandpa and the helper. And the forester. And the animal dealer. And the farmer. Just put them all right there. Career start point. I thought I hit Control B. Why are you not placing it? Oh, Control. I was hitting the wrong button. Career start point right there. I don't know why, but that's where we're starting. Save. And let's load it into the game. Right? And so I got all of like the land, how the land really exists. And sometimes if the fields are obvious enough from the satellite imagery, then it'll render the fields. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't. A lot of the American style, I've noticed that a lot of the American style farms where they have like the patchwork kind of fields, like this, the game isn't going to create this field and then this field and then this field, because really this whole shape is the field. That's just how it was harvested. It's not actually multiple crops. Sometimes it is, but for the most part, this is just, you know what I mean? Like, this actually looks like it's multiple crops. Looks like you got like corn along the front and then grass and then something else here. So we could make this into corn and grass and whatever. We could actually make this corn maze. That would be super fun. You can't turn a corn maze into a field, just so you know. It won't work. But anyways, let's go into the game and see what it looks like in the game. Now, as a warning, actually, let's do this also. If I jump in here, this is kind of what it looks like, right? We have that in the game. We have that in the game. Like, it's cool is when you see a place like this, it has like base game assets. If this is where we started on our map, this is the kind of map that we're looking at. It's kind of up on a hill. It's got some hills. It's got some like kind of dilapidated kind of 2-lane roads. A few. Oh yeah, like if we look, you can see how they're like sectioning the fields. Right? And that looks like a cool farm. Like that, like right there, looks like a really cool starter farm. Which is probably right here is that starter farm, right? So let's look and see what it looks like in the game. To do that, we're going to come in here. We're going to go close that and save. Then we're going to switch back to our map dev. We're going to go into that folder. Mod desk. Patent PA. 6. Save. Open the game. That's it. We're done. I'm just kidding. The way the Map4FS renders forests and trees is if the GIS data that it uses to render the terrain actually has them marked as forests and trees. So if we go back to, while this is loading, we go back to this, the preview image of the map. See how there's nothing here, right? There's no like this, see right here? Like as far as this is concerned, this is just open farmland. That's why it didn't generate any trees. But if we like changed where we're generating it and said, oh, I want to generate like right here. Right? You can do it from here. You don't even have to go back to Google Maps. And now if it generated it, it would generate this as forest and it would put in the trees. So maybe this would be also a fun map because then you'd have both forestry and things, and you'd also have a train line running through it, right? That's a train line. So that gives you a lot of cool things, right? Then we go here, here, patent, continue, start. A lot of corn, alfalfa, potatoes, and soybeans. Yeah, and hey, perfect. Everything that we have in the game, and we have alfalfa in multiple modded maps by now. I'm sure we can get it. If we wanted to make the alfalfa as a crop, we could do that pretty easily. I haven't done it yet, but I have tutorials planned for how to do that, how to add a crop. Exactly, Nick. It's very much like what I was talking about with that state park, right? No one's gonna have any idea what that is. It's not really a farming map at all, but it would be a very, very challenging forestry map with the way the terrain is, especially if I don't mess with the terrain at all. And I think that's... I like to think outside... Oh, look, the career start worked. And so we have our shop. We can buy a car. No, I don't want to buy a Ropa. Why is the Ropa in miscellaneous? Yes. And our spawn worked. Hey, J-Meister. And there's all of the sketchy NPCs who are watching us drive away. But look at this map. This is a cool area. I like it. You got the road running down the middle. Nice and smooth road. And I think from kind of where we were in our... Like, there's the farm we were looking at. Right, is right. So this... Go back and look at it, like compare. This right here, this farm... It's right here. Yeah, this road right here, that road is that road right there. And so you can get a real life location, and you could, if you wanted to, like, there's two ways you can build that farm, right? How would you build a farm? I can do that real quick. I know I can't actually do it real quick, but how would you build a farm here and make it legit? So first we're going to do is GS money add $1 billion. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to do go into construction mode. And I'm up here. This is the road, but actually that farm is right here. I was on the wrong hill. Right? Yeah, I'm right before the turn. So this farm is right here. So that farm is right here. So let's look at it. We've got a couple sheds. So we don't have very much with base game buildings, but right? You'd have a bunch of sheds. You'd have like one here. You can buy the farmland. We haven't set the farmland to be buyable, but that's fine. GS farmland buy all. Construction. We're over here. And you could literally go off the satellite imagery. Oh, they're on the other side of the road. Okay, so their farm is down here. And they had a shed here. Oh, come on. I forgot to make the farmland viable. But you could go in and like place, and then take what you placed and bring it into the map so it shows up every time. That's one way to build farms. The other way to do it is to do it in GE. But, you know, that's how you can build the map. But taking this, what you have here, what we have so far is we have the road network, where the roads go. We have the farmlands. If I remember correctly, we have splines. And the roads are kind of like obviously the road is not like this. The road runs through here, right? But if I turn around and I go into the map, pattern. Can I open both at the same time? Probably. But we can use some of what was given to us to generate roads. Right? So let's say here, turn off the purple thing. File, import. Now this is the tools that it gives us. Splines. Import the splines. Boom. Group. Splines. This one. No, that's a secondary. Not the one I want. This one right here is the highway running through town, right? Or most of it. I come down here. Spline to road. I open this toolkit. I don't have the road stuff in. But I could take this tool, which is a tool from one of the other map things, and generate a spline. Generate a road that looks somewhat legit. Like if we zoom in, what a spline is a path, right? I could take this one, I could take the spline tool, And let's say this one right here, I want this spline tool, I want it to be, I'm going to paint it. This one is going to be asphalt cracks. Width, it's about 6 meters wide. Paint train by spline. Boom. Now I've painted this entire road. If you look, there's a like gravel at the edges, but I've painted the asphalt in the middle all along, right? And so you can use some of these tools that come from the modding community to fix things. Like this is my highway. So what I've been doing is stuff like this. I'll come in here and I'll do grass, and I'll do grass at 12 meters. Right? Now it's gonna look weird. 16 meters. This kind of undoes the stuff that Map4FS did. 20 meters. Right? Now I want this road to be, I want it to be about 10 meters wide, 2 lanes on either side, plus kind of a guardrail. And I'm going to do, come in here, I'm going to do asphalt dark paint. And now I have a road that's painted. I went through and painted all of this road, the whole thing, right? It's not perfect because it's guessing the way I wanted it. And let's say that the spline's not right. I come in here, I fix the spline, and I make the spline curve the way the road actually curves, right? Because they didn't follow it. They were like, the generation script was like, I don't know what's going on. You're crazy. And you come in here and you fix the spline. Whoops. Delete, delete, delete. I'm going to smooth out the curve by having less spline points. Right? And then I come back in here and do my thing again. 20. Paint train by spline. Asphalt dark. 8. Paint train by spline. I can do set foliage. So if I come in here and do meadow, invisible, 10 wide, and then I hit set foliage by spline, it's going to clear off the grass around the road that I just built. Right? And so you can use some of the automated tools that are built in, right? And with the splines that come from the game, or come from so the mapping community, and be able to quickly make your map look better. You know what I mean? And so, and then, you know, the rest is just, you know, nitpicking, right? Where's my foliage? The size, this should not be at 10. And I could fix the meadow by coming in here. Where's meadow? Meadow. Harvest ready. Fix the grass along the road. Right? And then slowly, as I go in and do this, I would, you know, slowly fix the map until I get it looking the way I want, and then I move on to the next thing. Maybe then I had add a house, right? And so if we just hit save here, just to show how it, like the whole map development thing works, I'm gonna quit. I hit save here. It says on save. I'm not gonna keep that open. I don't need it right now. And we're going to open the map one more time. And we'll see all the changes that I just made. And that's map development in a nutshell. You just do that over and over and over for 6 months. Some of it's fast, like with this, when you use the splines, that makes some of it fast. Some of it's slow, where you're like literally painting things. But there are ways now, there haven't always been, there are ways to make it a little bit faster. There's a lot of really, really good support from the mapping community for getting new people building maps, because everyone is going to see that differently. Everyone's going to see the game differently. You can actually still see the splines because I left them turned on. You can obviously turn them off, but if we walk down to the road, which started at this intersection right here, which is the road that I was messing with, like this is what the Map4FS generated as the road, and then I changed it using this spline, which is, you know, could definitely be a little bit smoother. That's a crazy pants spline. But now this is the road. I come up over the hill, and now the road actually meets where the land is. And then if I wanted to actually generate a road, once I get the spline in the middle of the road where I want it, I generate the road. And then I have road textures, and then I move on to the next step. But I mean, overall, I mean, in the matter of what we started 15 minutes ago with this map, like, we now have a map of an area. This is a standard size 2x map, which could be for all platforms. If we zoom out and we see up above, you can see the contours of the land, the way the fields are set up. You can see how, like, this area over here, it's got lots of kind of pock marks in it. If you look at it without the grass, you can see the pock marks in it, and that's probably a forest where you got these smooth sailing kind of fields, but they're not flat. They're on hills. And so this is going to be like, you know, as Nonex says, most of them are laid out by a drunk coal miner. And then because he said there was coal mining, I would say that maybe over here is a coal mining area, I'm guessing. Or maybe up here might be a coal mining area where this river is up here. And, you know, you could put a heap spawner up here and use it as a river. You can see not only this, we look at this area. Oh, sorry, it went the wrong way. See all these like super weird contours in the land? Like if I was going to build this, I would fill this area with water and see where the water table is and put little bits of water in these streams and put little bridges over these, you know, where see where the spline is going, and make it more realistic. Cover this whole hill right here in trees or whatever. Like, the world is your oyster as a map maker. You do whatever you want. But Map4FS changes it because it lets you go and create something from nothing. And you get to this point right here where we're in the game. I'm able to buy a car and drive down the road and decide in this perfect canvas of reality that is real. Not so perfect canvas, but a canvas of reality where I want to build it. For someone like Rusty, maybe, or for Nonek, maybe this is the map he wants to play and he wants to build this into a real map. Or maybe like Rusty wants to build it. Maybe Rusty wants to build his grandfather's farm. He could literally get the terrain for his grandfather's farm and build it the way it actually existed in real life, provided he had the right buildings and the right tools and the right assets and all that stuff. But to get this far into something he can actually get in the game and actually build in the game if he wanted to, That's amazing. And I think that's what makes that tool so awesome. And once I found it, I'm like, I'm still using the website version. I haven't even gotten to the point where I use it on my own computer. Um, the website version is limited to 2x and 4x maps. You can't do 16x maps. You used to be able to about a month ago, but he's turned that off just because a lot of people were using it and it cost him server time for running the generation for those maps. So he turned that off. But I mean, there's so much you can do, so many cool things you can do. And for me, these kind of things are just the start. So I'm going to go in and probably go into that Alabama map because everyone likes maps from the South and see how much I can do with just the tools that I know today. How much of a map can I make and how quickly? And then send it to Giants and do what every other map maker does. Don't test it. Send it to Giants and say, hey, I'm done. And make them test it. Because that's what everyone does. No, I'm just kidding. I will let all of you test it first. And play it, and play it, and then play it. And then when everyone is happy with it and is like, don't you dare mess up my save again, then I'll submit it to Giants. But thank you everyone for watching and coming in and checking out this map building business. I did a few things. I showed you a few little pieces. There's so much more to see. The terrain here, this area is really awesome. I love these kind of rolling hills. And then there's a lot of like this like kind of funky land that I'm sure there's trees and stuff. And then this is a railroad, right? The gravel is a railroad. So there's a railroad running through this map too. That's pretty cool. Just realized that. There's a railroad running through there for our map. Nice. I think you can do railroads by spline now too. So I hope everyone learned it, liked it. I hope at least some of you learned a little bit here or there. If anyone has any questions, I'm learning too. So to be fair, I don't know a lot, but I do know a bit. I know more about modding itself and less about map making, but if you have any questions or want to interact with me more, Discord is the place. This is my Discord server, and I actively manage it. If you have any questions, feel free to join the Discord server. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for everyone being here. Special thanks to all of our supporters, channel members, people who have gotten a bit of amazing impact by donating directly to the channel and to the Discord. Thank you, everyone. This list is a little bit out of date, probably about a month. So I will update it with all the new members who've been joining. Thank you so much. You guys support me a lot. We are at like 1.4 million downloads on ModHub for the mods that I've released for 22 and 25. For 25 specifically, I'm almost at 400,000 downloads. And that's all from Contract Boost and the Sawmill and the Farm Field Stations. If you have those mods, don't forget, rate your mods. I don't know about it unless you go in and make a rating. Unfortunately, they don't allow comments. Let me know in the Discord. Jump in a Discord. Be like, hey, I love your mod. Tell me what you like about it. Tell me what you don't like about it. If you got an idea on how to change it, let me know. I have 2 changes pending for those mods from Discord members who've come in and be like, hey, it's great, but could it do this? Like, what would happen if we did, can you make it do this? And I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? So join Discord. Let me know. Open a conversation, and I will catch everyone next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye, everybody.